Hello everyone, and welcome back to Untamed Chaos. So for this episode, I want to do more Botania stuff. It's been a long time since I've done Botania in an episode or had an episode dedicated to it. I think I did go back and check, and the last one I saw was episode 21, and this is episode 81. So it's been about 60 episodes without any Botania episodes, which is really bad of me. I think what happened was I kind of stopped doing at the base while I just was getting mad at making Terra Steel, and then I ended up moving to the tower, or starting to move to the tower, and then I just never set up the Botania area. But as you might be able to tell on the map, I did that. So I don't have the luminizer to go down because I'm going to be getting that this episode, but if you come up here to the overlook, you can kind of see a bit of it from here. So I don't know, this area is still a bit of a work in progress, but the idea is the luminizer would take me down to right about here, and now we have the path over. This originally was oak, and I replaced it with living wood because I thought it was more fitting, but yeah. And oh, also, something really cool I'm really proud I did. So I made this little flowing river. It goes down through there, and it actually comes out the other side here, merges with that river, and then flows down in there. So, I don't know, I thought that looked really cool. And, yeah, I don't get to do cool stuff too often, but yeah, this is my Botania area. So, I've been spending a lot of time off camera preparing a whole bunch of stuff to do with Botania for this episode, and just getting everything set up. So, I have a few things to note. One, this area isn't finished. I still need to add the trees back around because I would like to add more trees around because I kind of cut them down when I was planning out the building. And as you can see, it kind of looks cool with the trodden dirt pathway. And also, there's still that node right there I never moved. Need to make a note to do that. But yeah, and I also need to improve lighting. I just kind of threw torches around. I put down a magnum torch just so it stopped mobs from spawning, but I never really done much besides that. And I did kind of move the petal chest over here by the petal apothecary in the water. So that's where this stuff is. And over here, I have this chest with all the other stuff and most of the stuff I'll be doing this episode. So those are the two main things I'll need. And yeah, I did set up and automate the thermal lilies over here, which are powering these mana pools. Now, the problem, though, is thermal lilies kind of suck now. They're really bad. The problem is lava is just so hard to get. This is the third full drum of lava I put down. Now, granted, they output a lot of mana. Like, this pool, I think, was about, I don't know, it wasn't empty, but it was under a quarter full. This one was completely empty, so that's all from the thermal lilies. Oh, and it's working right now. So, it puts out lava, and it powers all the flowers. It puts out, like, one lava too many. And then, as soon as the flowers go on cooldown after 45 seconds, I actually can break this just to show you. So, I had to use a fancy bit of redstone. So there's a repeater that delays it, and the reason I delayed it is so that it would stay on longer, because if I just had it do a flick or a quick pulse, it only did like one lava and wouldn't power all of them. So it's hooked up to an inverter, just a basic redstone torch with red alloy wire, and here is the main thing, a timer set to about 6 minutes delay. Because the reason is, how the thermal lilies work, see, they're now on cooldown, it ate up the lava, but the thing is, if they eat lava while they're on cooldown now, it refreshes the timer. So they pretty much burn lava for 45 seconds, and then they go on cooldown for 5 minutes. But if they absorb lava at any time during that 5-minute cooldown, it resets their timer back to 5 minutes. So I had to be a bit creative with the whole setup here to get it so they only had lava when they weren't on cooldown. It's not perfect, but it seems to work well enough and just kind of automate them. I have a pipe just to pipe in the power from an energy cell and the lava from the lava drum. But yeah, the problem is they just go through lava so fast and they don't output that much mana anymore. I think their mana was nerfed too, and I don't know. So it is a pretty cool setup, but since I can't, I guess I could use blood to generate the lava for lava drums now, but in general, lava is just kind of costly. I do have the lava fabricators, but they just eat up so much power. Like, I put down one of these, I think, with a lava fabricator instead of a lava drum at first, and this was empty, like, immediately. So they drain a lot of power, so I don't want to have to make a ton of lava. I might have to resort to using my blood ritual to make more lava, though. I don't know, I actually didn't consider that much. So if you come over here, you'll see another setup I made. This one using endo flames, which in my opinion are the best way to get mana at the moment, or the easiest setup. So I'll explain how it works, but let me just note, all of these were empty when I first put them down. That's all, or mostly all from endo flames. So yeah, and if you're wondering what this is, There we go. It's a mana distributor. It equally spreads mana between the mana pools. I forgot I could use the book just to quick look up things. That makes it easier. So this flower stops my ring of magnetism, because as you see, there's a coal blocks there. Originally, I had glass around it, or Tinker's glass, so I couldn't grab it. But this works a little better. And this flower here is a Hopper Hawk. So it doesn't need mana, but it places items in adjacent inventories with item frames on them, or at least have it specified, so it works that way. And that's the recipe for that. So, as you see, it only picks up items and item frames. So I have an open crate here that's being piped in coal through some basic hopper ducts. So the coal, the Hopper Hawk puts back in here every few seconds, I think. Let's actually just wait and see if it just puts it all in at once, because, yeah, it should put it, there we go. So it put in a whole bunch of it. So it grabs it off the ground before it despawns, puts it back in here, and this kind of just endlessly cycles it around. And then the Endo Flames will burn the stuff when it needs to. And I put two spreaders here just because having them all in the same spreader seemed to cause a problem. Or what I noticed is they seem to build up more mana than they could hold because the spreader was full. I don't know, maybe there are better spreaders I could use for this. And I think the Thermalites might have the same problem. Like I have too many spreaders here. Or not too many spreaders, too many Thermalites for the spreader. So I don't know, that might be an issue. I'll need to look more into that. But for the moment, this is now my primary mana setup because, we go here. I have 11k coal blocks. I've been using them a ton, and I don't think I've even went down 1k coal blocks yet. So all that mana was probably at least 500 coal blocks, but still, I have so much coal that I can just put as many coal blocks as I need in here. It just pipes them and it fuels them, and it's just so automated and easy. Over here I have my pure daisies. I also made more because I want to make more living rock and living wood. And yeah, so the other thing I need to touch on are the passive flowers. So you might notice there's a mana spreader here and a mana spreader here. Well, here I did put hydrodranias, you know, at the edge of the water. And over here under this one, I had my Daybloom and Nightshades. But as you see, rip, here lies the remains of Daybloons, or my Daybloons rip. So the problem is passive decay. I think there is a section on it, but that was something that was kind of added since I lasted a lot with Botania. And pretty much any flower that passively gives mana, the passive flowers, they now decay over time and they turn into a dead bush after 3 days of work. And the dead bush actually decayed as well. So pretty much I set them all up here and I set some hydrangeas up here. Hydrogenias. I'm not sure how to say that. So I had my Dayblooms, Nightshades, and all that stuff, and made a nice little formation, like a 5x5. And, you know, I just went to work on the area, and I came back, and they were just all gone. Or, like, some were dead bushes, some of them were still alive, some were just gone. So I think I'm not going to use them anymore, just because they're good for starting out, but the passive decay is kind of annoying. And yes, I know that in the more recent version, I'm one version outdated, there is a config toggle for passive decay. But since the mod author intended for them to decay passively, I don't want to go and change that just because I can get more mana. I'm doing just fine with the Endo Flames and Thermal Lilies, so I really don't need another flower setup. And if anyone does know another mana generating flower that works really well and isn't a pain to do, let me know. But I mean, that generates off slime. That one generates off food. There is one that generates off leaves, and I heard that can work really well. One of my friends has a setup where it like grows trees, eats the leaves off the trees, then turns the trees to charcoal to power Endo Flames or something. That sounds really cool. And also, if you look the wrong way, it kind of sends the mana burst. It's a bit of a visual bug because we're actually going into that. But if you look at us show them backwards, it fooled me a few times. But I don't know. I guess it's just a weird visual thing. So, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to show with the Botania area. It's been a long time since I did this, and, yeah. So what I want to do this episode is open this portal. And how I do that is I have to, well, let's consult the book. So, the portal. So, I already made the Elven Gateway core, that's at the bottom, and the Glimmering Elven Wood. So, I need to make these nature pylons. And I have to set it up like that, and it should activate the portal when I click the portal with a Wand of the Forest. From what I heard, it uses like a quarter of the mana pool, or like 1/8, I think it is, or something like that. But I wanted more mana so it would stay open, because if it ever runs out of mana and closes, that's a problem. So, yeah, I think this was all the stuff I had for that. So let me just get these out, and, yeah, go in here to the crafting table, and, actually, let me just search, pylon, I guess would be. There we go. So I need to make mana pylons, and I actually need to make 8 of these. I'll explain why later. And now I can make 2 nature pylons, and that's how you power this. Also, originally when I was preparing for this, it needed a lot more Terra Steel. I think you needed 1 for each of these, and 1 for the gateway core or something. But now you don't. So I put these here. Have no idea if those have anything, but now if I just click that, World Calling. So it should be draining the mana, and ta-da! We have the Elven Portal. Now the thing is, this is not a dimension. I can't go through the portal from what I understand. Instead, I just throw things in the portal. So the main thing is, let me just look up Luminizer, because that's what I want to make. So the reason I couldn't make this is I didn't have Dragonstone or Red String. Red String needs Pixie Dust, which also comes from the Elven Portal. So I look at the recipes, I can throw things in and get other things out. I throw in Living Wood, I get Dreamwood. I throw in 2 Mana Steel, I get Elementium. And same for all of these. So I did prepare stuff to throw in to get the stuff I need. And yeah. Let's just go through all the recipes. I think that's Elf Glass instead of Mana Glass. I don't know what that one's for. Or that one. Or that one. Or that one. Or that one. But they're apparently recipes as well. So I do have these prepared. I'm not sure if I actually need more, come to think of it. And I did also go get the Ender stuff, so... Okay, so apparently only items can go through and not people, but that's how you trade with the elves. And also, it should have unlocked more knowledge in my book. I thought there was a whole section of Elfomancy. Oh, I think I have to throw the book in, don't I? Oh, cool, there's a message from... I'll read that off camera. But, yeah, there it is. So it talks about all the different things, the resources, elven lore, the ritual of Gaia. So that's one of the things I need to do. The Gaia Guardian is something I'll need to fight. So apparently that's how I build the ritual. And, yeah, and there is also a stronger version. I guess that's this one. So after you beat the first one, you can use the Gaia Spirits and Terra Steel to make a Gaia Ingot or something. Yeah, that's how you do it. A Gaia Spirit Ingot. And you can use that to summon a stronger version of the Gaia Guardian. So, I think I'll be doing that in a future episode. And, yeah, so I also need Glowstone Dust, and I think Ender Air was the only other thing I really needed from here, right? Okay, so I should have everything else I need. Not sure what the difference between those 2 recipes are, actually. But if I go in here, I should be able to make a Luminizer. So let's go like that, Red String. And go like that, and a Luminizer, or a Light Relay. So that's what I wanted for up here, for my little teleport down. Good thing I have fire resistance. Okay, so I did need to make a second one of them, and Lag Spike. So, yeah, let me just cut till I make the other one real quick. Okay, so I made the second Luminizer and put it down here, so I think I just go like this, and that connects them. Okay, so you have this very cool visual between the two. So if I click this, I'm not sure how it works, actually. Oh, there we go. So that's actually pretty cool. I guess it's only a one way. I thought it would be both ways. So I might need to make a second set just to go back. I just right click this and I ride the light down. So I don't know. That is just a really cool method of travel. Maybe it even only goes down. I'll need to have a new way up. I don't know. But that is something I wanted to make for a while now. And I don't know. That kind of just fits the whole down to the Botania Cove area, as I have been calling it anyway. So, yeah, and that's once again going. That's producing more mana. Man, these mana pools are just so much mana. So, yeah. But don't worry, I have a lot of other things for this episode, as you can see in here. The other one I want to make, just trying to go through things real quick, is a flower pouch. Let's see. Flower pouch. There we go. So, apparently this, holds flowers. So many of each. So that I'll just put over here. It's meant for like when you're gathering flowers in the world so they don't take up a ton of inventory. I think when you break flowers, they automatically go in the pouch too, unless you're holding it or something like that. So, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I'll play around more with that off camera, but just want to make a lot of these things off camera and deal more of them off camera sort of thing. I don't know, might not be the most Let's Play-ish thing, but yeah. The next thing I want to do is, I think I also might have skipped one thing. So, I think it's actually like this. I don't need to look it up. There we go, a bauble case. So, this apparently can store baubles in it. So, all these baubles I have in here for Botania, and even the mana tablet, I should be able to throw them all in here. There we go. So, just like I have my focus pouch, I should be able to carry this around with me to store baubles. So I will be doing that. Also, off camera, I would like to make more of the baubles. Let me just go in the book real quick and look over them, just so you can have an idea what I'm talking about. So, oh, there's a lot of new research. I thought all the new research would actually just be in the old book, or in the new section, but apparently it adds it to all sections. So, I'll have to look back through the book. I actually read over everything. So, oh yeah, there are new mana spreaders, aren't there? So, yeah, there's a lot of new stuff, though, so I'll have to look over all this off camera and read over and see what, because I already have a list of a ton of stuff I want to do on and off camera with this mod, now that I kind of know more, and oh, good, there's new flowers. Maybe some of them will be better mana generation to try out, because, I don't know, I feel like the flowers are a bit lacking. I also know there are some that tie in with Forbidden Magic, or Thaumcraft through Forbidden Magic, that I need to do the research in Thaumcraft for, so that's the other thing I want to do. So, when I said brew a flask, that's what I meant. So I need to get Alf Glass to do that. And then I can brew 6-dose potions instead of 3-dose, like the brews. So, yeah. So I probably will do that in a future episode as well, though, and just prepare more stuff off camera. But yeah, baubles. There were some new baubles. I might make some of the new ones here off camera as well. But like the Pyroclast one, it makes you, you don't take fire damage and it doesn't seem to use mana. But it doesn't work if you stand in fire, and there's a few other ones like that. This one gives you a potion effect while you wear it after cost of mana, so I could give myself permanent strength too while I wear the potion, or wear the necklace, which is really cool. So, I don't know, I might make some more of these in a future episode, might make them off camera, but I would like to put more useful stuff in here so I can carry around, and I think it works for Thaumcraft baubles as well, just anything that go in these slots. So, that should be pretty cool. So, yeah, and also, Terra Steel. I want to upgrade this. Apparently I can just go like that. There, the greater ring of magnetism. So apparently it has a greater range than the normal one, although the flower should still counter it. So that's another little quick upgrade I want to do real quick. That's a bit redundant, but yeah, so now I have a Terra Steel version of that. I couldn't upgrade this because it already had mana, I think, which is why I made a new one. So, I don't know, there's a lot of other stuff to consider and look into. So, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything in my notes and move on to the next thing. Okay, so I did miss something. I thought I might have missed it. So, over here, you might be wondering, what in the world is this? Well, this is actually a special thing called a Mana Enchanter. So, this is why I need the other pylons. And if I just put them like this. Okay, so let me just look it up in here real quick. I actually don't remember where it is, but if I just click that, there we go. And now if I click this, Enchanting with Mana, that's what it was called. So this is the Mana Enchanter. I built the structure, and now apparently I just need to give it mana. I guess this is what I power. So if I go over here and find my sparks, I probably will need to make more of these as well. I don't know, I just need to prepare a lot more Botania stuff. So I put that there, and I put that there. Oops. How do I link them again? Okay, so, are they linked? I can't tell. Yeah, they're linked. Okay, so I think what happens is I, like, put an item here and then activate it. So I put down this axe and, okay, I guess my ring is not working well with this. I might need to put down another one of those flowers to stop magnetism for this. It might not work for this because it already has the enchantment. No, give me a second and actually let me read over this to make sure I'm doing it right. Okay, so it seems I was doing it correctly. It just doesn't work on items that already have an enchantment. So pretty much if I put this here and drop the books I have the enchantments I want and click it, there we go. It will draw mana. And let's see how fast it's using mana. Wow, that uses a lot of mana pretty quickly. And I guess that's its animation. So it already drew all the mana, and now it enchants the item, I guess. So yeah, that's all the mana it needed. And now if I come here, I can pick up the book and pick this up, and this now has efficiency, and it did not consume the book. So I might play around more of this off camera to see if I can kind of cheat the system a bit, because you know how I couldn't get efficiency on this, or efficiency on this, because Harvest apparently does not stack with efficiency for some odd reason, even though it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't show it doesn't stack, but it can't for some reason, or I could never get it to work. So maybe by using this, I could enchant an item and not make or be able to get efficiency and harvest on the same tool. That's what I'm trying to say. And I also will just throw that back in here and keep this on me for the moment. And yeah, I guess I also will go and put this over here just so I don't grab the books. There we go. That should work. So, yeah, that's the Mana Enchanter, which, it used a lot of mana, but then again, I also have a lot of mana. It wasn't that much, because these pools should both be equal, so it used about, I don't know, about a fourth of a pool or less? I don't know, that is a decent amount, I guess. So, yeah, the next thing I want to do is, prepare something else. It's not that a spectacular thing on its own, I guess, but, that is an incense stick, and if I go like this, I have the incense plate. So, I'm not sure exactly how this works. I guess it would kind of go like that, but I don't have the stuff in it to work. But, yeah, if I just, actually, if I put this down and use the book, I probably can, there we go, brew incenses. So, you can pretty much coat a stick with a brew, and then set it down on an incense plate and light with flint and steel. And it doesn't work for all brews, like instant health and such, but it will make the brew, it will apply the brew in a 30 block radius, that's what I'm saying. And it lasts, I think, 6 times longer. And of course, there's some redstone automation you can do. The main thing is, it makes the brew last longer, but it takes 10 times as much mana to make, or something like that. So this could be useful in the future. I would like to prepare some of these off camera, which is why I made it, just to kind of show you. So in the future, if you see me use one, that's what it is. And the idea is, like, I could put a strength brew on that. Actually, do I have a strength brew handy? I might have one somewhere in here. I wonder if I can use a partial dose. So if I take this and take that, and do I just might need to be a full one. Hold on. In this golden bag, I never commented on it, but that's where I have all my brews. So if I go like this and like this, I'm not sure how I infuse it. I don't know. It might be a mana thing even. But yeah, I got a whole bunch of golden bags while going in the nether stuff. So I put them in that bag in here. So I have a bag and a bag and a bag. Yeah. I don't know, I have to look more into how to do that exactly, but the idea is I could get this, or put a strength brew on that, put it on the incense plate and burn it, and have a strength buff for 3 times as long, even if it costs me a lot more mana. So, I think how you do it is you actually brew it, but instead of putting a vial, you put the incense stick. So, yeah, I'll have to make that off camera, and I might use it in a future episode. Maybe I'll never have a use for it, though. So, I don't know, we'll see. Let's see. Another thing apparently is the mana mirror. Let me actually just search mirror. I think it should come up. Yeah, I think that's one of them. Is it this one? Nope. This one? Yep. Okay, so what this does is it can link to a mana pool and pull mana from it to use for things. So I guess I could do that. So this is now linked to that mana pool. And if I were to use mana for something, I could pull it like from the mirror and it will drain that mana pool. I don't know, I guess that's the best way I could describe it. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to have much of a use for it anytime soon. Also, this was something to... I forget what that actually was for. It was something anyway. Yeah, I can't open up its Botania entry. I forgot how to do that. Anyway, so... Yeah, my note just says it pulls mana out of a linked mana pool to recharge items, so like the baubles, I guess, are a good example. Some of these use mana, so I could use the mirror to pay for instead the baubles with mana sort of thing, or it's another way to get mana about. Actually, yeah, it's not a bauble itself, so I can't put it in there, I guess. And I guess I can put that back on. Okay, so there's 2 last things I want to do this episode. So the first one, yeah, it's just kind of a bit of a silly thing that this mod has. It's a tiny potato. Okay. But I think it's supposed to have, like, inspirational advice and such or something. Apparently you also can customize them or something. I don't know. It just was a silly thing I mainly want to do for the achievement. So, yeah. And the other thing is Mana Tide Bellows. So, I did read a bit about these, and I had enough to make 2. So, if I put them like this... they're both connected to different mana pools, I think. Whoops. Anyway, let me just read what it says, or do the entry thing. So, pretty much this increases the output rates of mana from mana pools. So, if I want to recharge a tablet with mana, by having these here, I can speed it up. I think they're a bit like the Buildcraft engines. But yeah, these will help make mana pools output mana faster for things that need recharging or not. So, that's actually about it. I think that's everything I had on my notes. There was one thing I didn't have on my notes, though, that I still would kind of like to do, even though it's a bit of a waste of Terra Steel. The Terra Blade. Okay, so the thing is, I'll need to grab from my bauble case. Actually, I wonder if I could use the mirror for this. This would be a good test of the mirror as well. There we go. So this can drain mana to shoot a beam. And, oh, it shows durability. I wonder if that's durability, or mana pool durability. I'm not sure. I guess it's both. So, oh, you can actually see a bar of mana. Is that from this? Yep. So I guess that bar near my experience, or the overlay on my experience, shows how much mana I have. But yeah, the cool thing about the Terra Blade is, I know there was something flying around here. I guess it left. But it can shoot a beam of mana that deals as much of it as its normal hit. So, you know, Chupacabra here. So I didn't actually have to hit it once, and I killed it using Mana Blasts. And it should have put it all from here. I don't know, maybe it did or maybe it didn't. It's hard to tell. I think this is still being charged, so I can't see if it lost any mana. Oh well, but yeah, the Terra Blade's something else I want to make real quick, or I thought would be cool to include. I might enchant it and use it as a weapon, because it is a pretty cool weapon. Or, you know, it's a sword. It can get all the sword enchants. I could make it a really powerful sword. I wonder if sharpness and wrath apply to its blast. If it does, though, that would be insane. So, yeah. But, the tiny potato's just dancing. So, yeah, I think that was actually all the stuff I had for this Botania episode. And, yeah, I have a lot more stuff to look over from all that research I unlocked with the Elven Portal. And hopefully it won't take another 60 episodes to do another one. Hopefully I'll have one in the next 10 or something. Because I really do want to... Oh, that reminds me. I had a goal list with a whole bunch of Botania goals. And I probably just did a whole bunch of them, didn't I? There we go. So I built the Elven Portal. Wow, that's really all I did this episode. Well, I need to brew a flask, defeat the God Guardian, make Terra Steel armor, and get an ancient will. Yeah. So I think I'll need to make new sparks and set this one up to this one. I think that's within range anyway. And then I can make more Terra Steel. And they did change the Terra Steel armor recipe as well. Now it just requires upgrade to Mana Steel. And oh, I actually never commented on it. You're probably wondering, what are all these for? Yeah, these are for all the different Botania armors. Mana Steel, Terra Steel, Elementium, and Mana Weave. I don't think I touched on Mana Weave much. That's it. So I use Mana Cloth, and apparently it has a special effect of increasing the potency of magical rods, as well as less mana on rods and tools. These are, yeah, all of them do rods and tools, but that increases the potency as well. So, I don't know, it's interesting. It's just something I would like to try and work towards anyway. So I might make that kind of stuff off camera. And actually one of my notes, or my last note, was that I am going to be doing a lot more Botania stuff off camera, just so I can, you know, prepare it, because the mod can be a bit grindy at times, and yeah, I need to switch that if that gets too far ahead of that one. Anyway, so, yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this Botania episode. I'll be working a lot more off camera to make sure, like, I might make the Man of Steel armor off camera and save the Terra Steel for on camera. Like, I could have all these but Terra Steel done by next episode. I'll look more into the new flowers. I'll make a lot more of the baubles. I'll prepare a lot more stuff and just kind of, you know, hopefully be ready to do the Gaia Guardian and kind of get to the end game of the mod, in quotes anyway, a lot quicker. I don't know, this mod's a lot more about coming up with cool systems. It's kind of like Redstone, but a different system of mana kind of for Redstone. I don't know, it's weird at times. But I don't know, it's a lot more of what you can do with it than it having stuff to do. And there is actually a challenge section somewhere in here for that. Challenges. So, you know, it has different ways to, like, automate different things. So, or figure out how to do certain setups. But, I don't know, that's this challenge system. Anyway, I don't want to go too much into it. But, yeah. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I'll work at preparing more stuff for another episode in the future. Hopefully not too long in the future like last time. And, yeah. Until next time, goodbye.